Let's talk a little bit about the three strikes law, what that is in Alabama and how that works.
Well, I think when we talk about the three strikes law, we focus more on the Habitual Offender Act, okay? When you're a first offender, there are a lot of different programs that you can enter that can give you a chance to move forward in life. However, when you have priors, it puts you in a position to have higher sentencing in Alabama. We have the sentencing guidelines, and some of those sentencing guidelines are presumptive and some of them are not. So if you follow the habitual offender guidelines, then you can be up for a sentence that can put you away for a very long time.
And when you say presumptive, what do you mean by that?
When I say presumptive, the state of Alabama has come up with guidelines that this state follows, okay? But on certain presumptive guidelines, you don't have to follow, like assault, you got murder, different things like that can put you in a situation where the state of Alabama chooses what they're going to basically sentence you to. And on those sentences, of course, it's going to fall within what the Alabama sentencing range has. However, it puts you in a different position when you're not under the presumptive guidelines.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
And Lavinia, let me ask you about the antithesis of that, 180 degrees. Let's say you have somebody that is not a habitual offender. It's a first-time offense, that they have a problem, have a good record otherwise. Talk to everybody about the deferment programs that you can help people get under certain circumstances.
Yeah. So if you are a first-time offender, there are different things that can happen in a court system in the proceedings. You have theft court, there's veterans court, there's drug court, which is a great program. If you complete those programs, then you're in a position to not only move forward in life, but to have those cases dismissed. The state of Alabama now, well, Jefferson County has a reset program, and if you finish that program, then you can put you in line to possibly get an expungement. So those programs I put in place, they definitely help individuals who just simply made a mistake. I think a lot of times the state of Alabama is great on their discernment when they're looking at these individuals and deciding whether they qualify.
And I see a lot of young people is what I see. A lot of young people that have a problem. Maybe they get a DUI or they get caught with drugs or something like that. And it's just a wonderful program for helping them get back on track without having to have that follow them their entire life.
That's really
good.
That's really good. Another thing that has come up recently, the Speedy Trial Act. How will that affect cases, in your opinion?
Well, every individual has a right to a speedy trial. And what that means is a lot of times these cases, they move rather slowly through the court system. You have the district court system, you have the circuit court system. And what it says is when you file a motion for speedy trial, you initiate that right first saying, hey, I'm ready to move forward. If the state of Alabama takes too long to proceed with those cases, and I think it's presumed to be prejudiced at about 24 months, okay? Now, taken in account of COVID, it's presumed at that point. However, if there's a violation of the Speedy Trial Act, then your case can possibly be dismissed.
Wow.
Okay. And is that a new, at the state level, is that new or has it always been in place?
It is not new.
Okay.
You have always had the right to a speedy trial.
Okay.
Okay, because a lot of times when these cases move slow, you have people that can't get jobs, they can't get housing. There's a lot of things that they affect.
Yes.
So that person is telling the state of Alabama, hey, we want to move forward.
Yes.
You know, and it's kind of pushing the ball to get that case, if it's moved through the district court system, off of the grand jury and into a courtroom so that they can either negotiate a plea or take it to trial.
Lavinia, we're almost out of time, but real quickly, if someone gets charged, if you're charged, what needs to happen? When is it the appropriate time for you to reach out to a criminal defense lawyer to seek help and advice?
That's a good question.
It is always my advice to seek help at the initiation. Once you've been charged, once you bond out, I'm going to advise you to get an attorney. You have a right to an attorney at every stage of the criminal process. So I'm going to always advise you to seek help.
So this is,
if you meet with a client and you see an avenue for them to talk with the police and rectify a situation, you can advise them that way.
Exactly. And I'm going to
get that advice.
even before speaking to the police, a lot of times you'll get investigators that'll reach out to individuals wanting to come in. My advice is going to be to speak to an attorney first.
Wonderful.
You know.
Well, I want to make sure that we give out your number once again, just to make sure. I'm trying to get there. Here we go. Lavinia Borum, her telephone number is area code 205-272-5999. Again, you can also find her online at borumlaw.org. That's BOROM law.org. Lavinia, thank you so much.
Great job.
Just for helping us be educated more about this area. It can be tricky.
Very
but
much so.
Knowledge is power. Always
Thank
power.
you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely.